Okay, welcome everybody today to a class on driving. Now I want to warn you all that I am not a driver and therefore my knowledge of driving vocabulary is not fantastic. I always thought it was very expensive to learn to drive, and so I never felt like I could afford a car, if I'm honest. And then I went abroad and lived abroad for a long time, and I got used to using public transport, and so I've never really been a driver. And I'm certainly not now. I still don't know how to drive. I never learned how to drive, and I don't have a car. And so be aware that I'm not the best person to ask about driving vocabulary, but I can still explain the words that we use all the time. And I want to warn you all that driving has, number one, a lot of phrasal verbs, loads and loads and loads of phrasal verbs. And so you will need to learn loads of phrasal verbs. This is not all of them by any stretch of the imagination. It's not. Secondly, the US and the UK very often have different words on this topic. Yeah, it seems to me that very often with words connected to driving, very often there's an American word and there's a UK word. And so, for example, I've put some over here. We say boot in the UK, they say trunk in the US. We say bonnet in the UK, they say hood. We say motorway, they say freeway. We say pavement, they say sidewalk. You know, I think all of these words are connected to roads and to driving. So be aware that American English and British English do have quite a few differences on this topic. Now, number one, you get in and get out a car. Now, some of you might already think, hang on, isn't it get into a car and get out of a car? Yes, it is. But I want everybody to know that these two prepositions are very often shortened to get in a car, get out a car. And it's not just with that verb. Even with something like put something into your pocket, take something out of your pocket, put something in your pocket, take something out your pocket. Very often we drop the to and the of with those two, okay? I think that's really important because many students will be sitting there scratching their heads thinking, is it get in a car or is it get into a car? Is it get out a car or is it get out of a car? And the truth is that we use both, and that's just the more relaxed version. That's perhaps the longer version, okay? So be aware of that firstly. Now, I want to make it clear that you get in and get out cars. Yeah, you get into a car, you get out of a car, but you can also get in a van, get out of a van. A van is between a car and a lorry, and what I mean is it's medium size. A car is small, yeah, a van is medium size, and a lorry is massive. Very often they're very big. These are the vehicles that carry goods and products. You know, these are the vehicles that take the food to the supermarkets every single day so that we can go and buy some food. So you get in and get out for cars, vans, taxis, lorries, trucks. Now remember, that's US English. US is truck, UK is lorry. So that's another difference, yeah, between UK and US English. So you get in and get out for all of these vehicles which you drive with a steering wheel, yeah? Notice that they're all kind of like boxes. And what I mean is you can understand why we say get in and get out, because they're all kind of like a box. A car is like a metal box, a van, a lorry, a taxi, they're all like metal boxes. Now, you get on or get off for bikes, planes, trains, boats, basically everything else that's not on this list, you get on and get off. Now, why is that? Well, I want to give you a reason. I think it's because these are public transport. Yeah, a train is like a platform that you get on and get off. I think of it as more like a platform, a train, rather than a metal box, you know, a private metal box. You get on the platform with everybody else. When you get on the train, you kind of just walk onto a platform. Same with a boat, same with a plane. Not quite the same with a bike, but if you prefer, just remember that bikes, trains, planes, everything else, you get on and get off, okay? Now, you need to put on your seatbelt when you get in a car. Yeah, when you get in a car, you need to put on your seatbelt. You need to fasten your seatbelt. You could use either of those two verbs, and notice we use the phrasal verb. And somebody might say buckle up, meaning put on your seatbelt, fasten your seatbelt. Buckle up means put on your seatbelt. Now we're going to start with loads of these phrasal verbs, and they're tricky. Now you can pull out. Now pull out usually means go towards the middle of the road from a stationary position. Yeah, if you're parked at the side of the road and you pull out into traffic, that means you just start going and you move away from the place where you were parked into the fast lane, into the lane where traffic is moving. So you can pull out into traffic. It basically means that, yeah, you're parked at the side of the road and you pull out into traffic because there's traffic going along this part of the road. Okay, so that's pull out. And yes, we do say pull out into, which is why these phrasal verbs are tricky. But you can just say, yeah, we pulled out and went to, you know, and got stuck in a traffic jam after a few miles, after a few kilometers. So pull out means to join a faster moving row of traffic. It's usually you go into somewhere that's moving faster when you pull out, and you move from a place where you were moving slower or where you were stationary. When you pull into somewhere, this means you slow down and stop at that place, at that somewhere. So you can pull into a petrol station. In fact, you must pull into a petrol station if you have run out of petrol. Yeah, if you've run out of petrol, you need more petrol. You need to fill up with petrol. You need to fill up the tank. Yeah, we often say fill up the tank, and we talk about a full tank and an empty tank. So you need to pull into the petrol station and get some petrol. So pull into means slow down and stop somewhere. Although I wouldn't say stop actually, because you can pull into the slow lane. If you're in the fast lane, yeah, the fast lane, the traffic that's for the lane that's for fast moving traffic, you can pull into the slow lane. So pull into means to go to a slower place. Yeah, if pull out means go to a faster place, pull into means go to a slower place, or maybe a stationary place. Like pull into a petrol station, it means stop at the petrol station. But pull into the slow lane, you're obviously not stopping then, you're just slowing down. And please remember these two phrasal verbs, speed up and slow down. Now you might pull into the petrol station because you've run out of petrol, or because you are out of petrol. Remember, both of those work. But you might not need to fill up the tank. You might need to pump up the tyres. Yeah, pump up your tyres means inflate tyres. Inflate is the formal word. Inflate the tyres, pump up the tyres. And by the way, the opposite of pump up the tyres is let down the tyres. I hope nobody lets down your tyres. And so let down means deflate. Now I know that let somebody down means disappoint them, you know, not turn up when you promised to